Hey guys, I've finally put together a nice map pack of all of my sort of successful and semi-successful maps that I've created over the last year or so. I pretty much just decided to release them open source for everybody to look at, or you can go play it. Preferably not publish it, but take anything you want from these maps. They've been popular over the last few months, like in January and February. I think a couple of them were popular, and basically right now I'm not really sure how popular they are. I don't really play Starcraft 2 as much, but I just wanted to put these out there rather than have them just sit on my hard drive. Some of the more bigger maps like Death Haven and Survivors RPG are probably pretty darn complex to actually figure out what's going on, especially in the banking system, because I spent so long trying to make it confusing so people couldn't hack the bank, but maybe there is something of value there for people. And of course the map itself, and some of them like Zombie Rush, which I never really talked about, it was sort of a private map that I never actually released, are fun to actually play by yourself, so you can actually try them. And I think Death Haven you can play by yourself, and Survivors RPG. So I'll begin with Infection here, and and by the way, you can look in the description to see the link on SC2 Mapster where I post images and descriptions of each if you don't want to watch the rest of this video, or if you want to download them, etc. So my first map, Infection here, this was a map that started out in the beta, and then I eventually released it when StarCraft 2 came out last summer. It was pretty popular. I think it was on page 1 for a little while until it drastically dropped because of the old system, and probably because it had issues, but it was pretty cool. It was about, it's kind of similar to like a zombie kind of game where you spawn, everybody spawns as human, then a few random people turn into zombies or aliens or whatever, and then they hunt you down basically, and you have to work together to stay alive. And it uses an ammo system, and you can actually rank up with kills and stuff to get new weapons, and the aliens can actually rank up and choose new types of classes for them. So it was a pretty cool game. Hasn't been popular in a long time, but it's worth people to see, I think, because it was definitely fun back in the day. So it'd be nice to see what people think of it now. Next map is Onetwo's TD, which was my sort of tower defense entry into the world, and it was pretty cool, pretty standard stuff. I mean, it's just a good standard TD, and if you want to just check it out, I think you can play by yourself, but it's fun with a lot of people too. It was popular at one time or another, I think more so in Europe, but definitely a cool map to try to play by yourself, just to see how I sort of did the tower defense genre. Nothing sort of revolutionary about it, just sort of a standard tower defense. And next we got one of my first big maps, besides Onetwo's TD, was Prisoner Rebellion. And this one's still being played, I think, on certain like map nights and stuff. I still see it being played. But yeah, it's basically just sort of like sheep tag back in the day. So the cops, I guess, or the wolves, have to hunt you down, and meanwhile the prisoners, aka the sheep, I guess, have to sort of build and prevent the cops from getting them, except the difference here, rather than sheep tag, is that you can actually build turrets and build your way back to killing them. And it was a pretty successful map, and I haven't touched it in a long time, but and I don't know, it's not really playable by yourself. It is, but there's a simple AI, but you definitely have to get a good group of people to do this, and if you do, though, it's pretty darn fun. It actually started from a Warcraft 3 map I had. It was one of my original maps back then. And anyways, beyond this map is Death Haven, which was probably my biggest map, and rightfully so, I think, because you can play it by yourself, you can play it with a group. It's fun to play with a group. There's a lot of dynamic. It's basically a survival defense hero game. Pretty good balance, I think, and your kills save between the maps. You can earn kills to earn new abilities and stuff, and sort of like an RPG in that sense, that you're saved. But definitely, yeah, Death Haven is probably one of the funner maps that I've made. Might not be as popular anymore, but it was, page 1 back in March or February or whenever, so it definitely had its popular times. And that's one of the main reasons I'm making this, because I don't want people to forget about these great maps that, while I am touting my own horn by saying that, I really enjoyed playing them, and I know a lot of people enjoyed playing them as well, so it's worth for people to see. I went across a YouTube video recently of somebody playing Prisoner Rebellion, and he's like, oh, I didn't know if anyone actually ever played this, but it looks like somebody's played it. He found it fun or not or whatever. and but people actually had. It was actually a big map a while back, but it's funny how things get forgotten pretty fast. So I'm releasing these to sort of get exposure for them. Not that I'm working on them anymore, but also for people to take a look at. So that's the truth of the matter. And then, of course, after Death Haven was probably my biggest project that never got finished, but it was definitely my biggest piece of work of all my maps. And this is Survivors RPG, which originally was Lost Planet RPG, which originally was Onetwo's RPG. So gone through a lot of iterations, a lot of thinking, and eventually I decided that I didn't know where I was going with it. A lot of work had been put into it, but it's still a very fun map, even if you just play by yourself on it. It's a couple hours worth of content probably, and if you get someone else to play, you can take part in PvP and stuff, and everything saves. You have hero slots. It's all there. The system's all there. It's a pretty sweet RPG. Pretty complex if you look at all the triggers and stuff, but it's just not finished. But and I don't think I will finish it. But it's fun to play with a group of friends or just by yourself to check out what's sort of out there, because I know the RPG category has sort of been a little bit empty due to the difficulty of making them. But yeah, definitely one of the coolest maps, I think, under my sort of map pack here. And of course the last one here is just a little small one that I was making for fun, called Zombie Rush, and basically you spawn with no weapon and you can't pick up weapons. You're just a survivor on this little ship, and zombies have basically infected their way through your ship, and you just have to survive as long as possible. And it is playable with one player, but probably more fun with a group of people. It's a pretty short map. It'll probably only last like 4 or 5 minute games, and you basically just try to run around, use your few abilities, and survive as long as you can without getting eaten up by those zombies. And whoever lasts the longest wins, and that's basically it. I think it's a pretty cool little map, but never released it. I guess I didn't have enough depth to it that I wanted to, but nevertheless, it's cool. It's finished, so it's perfect to fit into this little map pack. And these are pretty much all the maps that I have to showcase over the last year and a half. So I think people will find it interesting to see, what have I done? Because I'm usually the teacher of tutorials. So, and some people do know the maps that I have had popular and stuff, but it's good to see, what's behind all my tutorials. Where am I getting that information? What am I putting to use? Like, can I actually produce something? Are you listening to somebody who can actually produce good content? So that's why I think this map pack is also good for that reason. Other than the fact that you can go in and look at everything and all the craziness inside these maps. There's definitely especially Survivors RPG, like 800 or 900 effects, I think, or something crazy, which was like right-click duplicate, exactly what I do in my tutorials when I make these maps. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just hope people enjoy them, and if you can check them out by yourself or with a group of friends, just enjoy them, because a lot of work was put into these, and otherwise they'll just fall into the history and the bottom of the list. No one will ever really see them. So yeah, and it's kind of hard to get the motivation to go back and work on a map. Some people will stay on one map, and that'll be their big map for the whole game, like the ones on the top of the popular list. But I don't think I could. I don't know. I just can't stay on a map for that long. I need to diversify all the time, and whether or not that means certain projects finish is just the way it goes, I guess. I'm sure we all have that problem of moving from one map to another and trying to keep on a map and then having a bigger project, and etc. But anyways, yeah, check it out. Check out the link in the description. It goes to SC2 Mapster, where I have little pictures and blurbs about each map, and you can download them. And most of these, except for Zombie Rush and Survivors RPG, you can find on Battle.net, and some of them on EU. Most of them only on North America, though. You can find them there if you want to go try them, but otherwise you can play them with yourself or publish it privately or something and then play with your friends. Like Zombie Rush isn't published, Survivors RPG isn't published, but the others all should be on North America. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and enjoy the map.